Captain Karnik, you first. Savarkar Yatra, is that what your state needs really in 2022, or is this a brazen attempt to polarize the elections, try and create a Hindutva vote bank in Karnataka?
Rajdeep, good evening and good evening to my co-panelists. I personally feel among the tallest freedom fighters, I think there was a position which was required to be given to Veer Savarkar. I must compliment and congratulate, at least after 75 years, we are talking about Veer Savarkar and his contributions. This political rally which you are referring to is I think, a long overdue kind of a rally to go around the state and tell people why Savarkar and his contributions were neglected during the past 70 years, why people are so anti towards Savarkar, why Savarkar's posters are being damaged, and his contributions, unlike any of the freedom fighters, 28 years of Kala Pani. I don't think any of the glorified so-called freedom fighters had to undergo the kind of hardship Mr. Savarkar went.
But do you need a yatra, Captain Karnik? Do you need a yatra for this? Do you need a yatra in election year? All of what you say may well be, a lot of what you say may be right, but do you need a yatra to take to the people?
Obviously, because all these years, Savarkar has been very intentionally neglected. And there are protests against him. On one letter which he wrote to the British people, people have been completely neglecting Savarkar's legacy. So today, to take out all the differences, confusion from the minds, it is the right time to go around the state and tell people what was the contribution of Veer Savarkar.
Okay, so you're saying it is part of an information effort to reach out to people to tell them who was Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. Okay. You want to respond, Aishwarya Mahadev, to that. Is the Congress falling into a trap by allowing the BJP to rake up these issues, and then you respond and say, no, some congressmen say we will take out a Tipu Yatra, and then that becomes, in a sense, a recipe for a potential conflict?
Good evening, Rajdeep. I think it is only the BJP in Karnataka that is far more bothered about an 18th century ruler and a person pre-independence, as opposed to actually looking at the state of infrastructure and the condition of governance in my state today. And irony will have it that an atheist or a Nastik himself is now being eulogized during Ganesh Chaturthi. But then again, that's the great irony of the BJP and its allied institutions. Rajdeep, let's make one thing very clear. The BJP will always pick up the communal bogey when it does not have progress or an agenda of development. Today, my state is reeling under allegations of 40% corruption in the government. Not only did we have the PSI scam, we have the KPTCL scam today. You saw 11,000 potholes, and right after the rain, you see 6,000 or 7,000 of them again causing massive deaths and spinal injuries to people. The High Court hauling up the government, your officers are so corrupt, we won't give them bail. And the BJP's infighting, which is legendary, so much so that the national leadership had to come put them back in line like a bunch of errant school children. All of these issues are plaguing the BJP so much, Rajdeep, that the only agenda they have is us versus them. I do not care what happened in 18th century. I do not care what happened pre-independence. You want to talk about history? Wonderful. But do not abdicate your responsibility as a government, and you are not government.
Your leader Siddaramaiah is the one who responded in a way to the Savarkar Yatra. Why respond to it? Ignore it. Why is the Congress in a way responding at all to the Savarkar Yatra? Because the moment you do, then it effectively becomes an issue to polarize. Now you've got the Sri Ram Sene and sort of fringe, so-called fringe groups also entering the fray.
You know, when Mr. Siddaramaiah spoke about it, he said you want to do a Savarkar Yatra, look at his contributions, but talk about GST, talk about inflation, talk about the common man's problems. And when we talk about Savarkar, if that is the conjecture, that is the narrative they want to put forth and have a Yatra instead of giving progress, the people of Karnataka are not stupid. But allow the Congress to also raise the fact that the objection lies in you can eulogize, you can sit and put anybody on a pedestal, but do not run away from your issues, do not run away from governance. The media will twist it, the BJP will twist it, they will try to make it an us versus them, and this is standard, basically communal BJP 101. We saw it in 2018, seeing it now, and this is the only agenda they have, Rajdeep.